Hi everybody, it's me Linda. I know it's been a very long time since I've done a tutorial here on YouTube for my blog, but I wanted to share some information. I've had lots of requests. I have this card posted on my blog. I put it up yesterday and I've got lots and lots of emails about how to make this flower. So that's what I wanted to show you today. First thing I want to tell you that I know there are a lot of tutorials out there on YouTube and just on regular blogs about how to make this flower. This is just what I do. So you can make any changes you want. This is your project. This will be your piece, but this is what works for me. So, and I may end up having to do this into 2 different videos. I've made this a few times already and it goes way over 10 minutes. So anyway, just wanted to let you know that, so you may end up seeing 2 videos. But anyway, this is the flower I want to show you today. First thing I wanted to tell you is I know that there's stamps and all types of things out there to make these flowers, which are great, but I have to tell you that my go-to to make these flowers is the Spellbinder Nestabilities. This is the Standard Circle Large. I like this because I have a variety of sizes I can use here. I know, I'm sorry about that glare. I feel bad about that, but it's about. But anyway, I like this because I have a variety of sizes. As an example, this card, this is my favorite die to use for making flowers. This is the die I used to make this flower. So just so you can see a visual, this is what I started with and this is what I ended up with. So if you wanted a very, very small flower, and what I like, it gives me the flexibility to use whatever size I want. If you really wanted a small flower, look how small, but just remember that this is kind of what you're going to get. So, but that's my go-to. I would rather use the circles and do my own thing than be restricted and have to stay with that size. This gives me the variety. They also have the Standard Circle Small, which I use these too, but as a general rule for my cards, I use this number 7 and the Standard Large. Oops, that's really glaring. I use the number 7 and the Standard Large. So, but anyway, that's what I use. But the thing you have to remember is that the smaller the circle, the smaller the flower. So take that into consideration. So getting started with this, the first thing I can tell you is that you're going to take your nestability and you're going to want to cut. I use the grand caliber, however you want to cut this. You want to cut out your circle. Try not to get to the top of the screen. You want to cut out your circle. There's no need to emboss this because what we're going to do with the edges, you won't see the embossing anyway, so it just kind of saves us that step. The next thing I want to do is find the center of my circle. So I just put a dot there, really light. Anything you do here on pencil, remember you're going to have to erase, so the lighter the better. But for the video, it might be a little darker. But anyway, so here I have my circle center, and I'm hoping that's actually my circle center. I'm sitting back. So once I find my circle center, and before I started this video, I went out on Google and I did a Google search for this template. So they're out there. I just draw my own on here. I find that works for me. So anyway, I went out and I did a Google and I did find this template and I drew it out on vellum paper because I like that. I can see through it. However, again, I just draw this on here. I'm right-handed, so I like cutting this way. So I drew my pattern with my pencil, but it looks so dark here, and if you'll notice it says this side up, that gives me a clue that this is the right side for this pattern. So when I want to cut, I start this way. If you're left-handed, you just turn it over. So that's the difference. Anyway, so after I drew my pattern on here, then I took a dark pencil. I mean, this puppy puts the lead down. Very dirty, very dirty. So you have to be real careful with this. Anyway, I just really made this line really heavy on the other side because I want this pattern to get on that paper. So anyway, I'm just going to set this here and I'm going to find my center. Okay, and I'm going to just very lightly, I'm going to do this dark. anything you put down in pencil, you're going to have to erase. So I'm going to very lightly, only I'm doing it darker, I'm very lightly going around this circle. And what I'm doing, hang on, is when I release this, see, I have my pattern there. Okay, so at that point what I want to do is, and I'm not going to cut this whole thing, is I want to take and I want to cut on that line and just cut this out following that pencil line. This is just for those of you who are intimidated to just draw right on your paper. After you do a few of these, you'll get the hang of just, you know, just drawing it on your paper. And the more spirals you put in this, the fuller your flower. I've made a few of these to where I don't have this much. This is quite a bit. Anyway, so you just continue on around, and remember you want to erase that pencil line. Okay, so when you do that, you cut it out. You can continue to cut it out. Now I'm going to mention a product here, and I don't normally do that, I just mention everything, but I am going to mention this product because I know there's a couple different things out there, but what I'm using and what I use for my flowers is this little tool. It's a wonderful little tool. It's a quilling tool. I say it's a quilling tool. It's a petal tool. It's got a stylus on one end, and it's got like a quilling tool. It's got a tip with a split in it. Now, because cardstock's thick, I found when I was rolling my paper, when I go to pull this out, it pulled the center out right out with it. So when I got mine, after working with it a couple times, this is just a visual. I use my X-Acto knife. This is just what I have here. I took my X-Acto knife, and in this case my scissors, and I put it down in between that blade to open it up some. I don't know if you can see that, but that helps me when I'm ready to pull this off my flower. It releases much easier and doesn't completely destroy the center of my flower. Now, I'm going to have to do 2 videos. So, but anyway, I'm going to take my time and do this right for you. With this tool, I got this at Eclectic Paperie. I know that they have the right size there. I'm sure the other one is fine. It made your center much bigger. I mean, it was even the size of this pearl. You could really see down in the center. So I prefer the smaller one. It's up to you. But I will have that for you at the bottom of my screen at Eclectic Paperie. And by the way, like I said, if you want to know what the supplies I used on this card, just go to my blog at Linda's Works of Heart. I have everything listed there, and I even have a link to this tool. So yeah, just go ahead and do that. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tool with that quilling end, or the petal end, and I don't start all the way here. I'm watching my clock here, and it's looking grim, but I'm going to take this tool, and I'm not starting at the very end. I kind of start here. It just helps me a little bit. And I'm just going to start rolling. Now, I'm not rolling tight. I'm just letting it roll. But the one thing I am paying attention to is I want this edge to be pretty, let me get around here before my clock ends. I want this edge to be pretty flush. I don't want it to be, I want it to be even across the bottom there. So I'm just going to roll, roll, roll. And we'll pick up probably in video 2 where I'm leaving off here. So hang with me. Let me go ahead and get around here. This has got a lot of spirals in it. So, but again, the most important thing for me is to just, and we're going to stop there. And I'm going to start you off again in the next video. Okay, so I know I've got a few more minutes left, but we're going to stop this here, and then we'll start again.